And now, after years of planning, sweating, and going broke, here is the Boots and Whiskey Podcast with Jim Belisle.
I'll alert the media.
Why they would give this man a podcast is anyone's guess.
Then there is what could only be a bizarre coincidence or something else.
Welcome to the Boots and Whiskey Podcast with Jim Belisle.
Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, son.
Country music and fine moonshine. Finally, a podcast that lets it all hang out.
Let's level with America.
Got your boots? Ready for some whiskey?
These boots are made for walking.
One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you.
And now, the Boots and Whiskey Podcast with Jim Belisle.
Hey everyone, Jim here, Boots and Whiskey Podcast. Welcome to another episode of the show. Today we have a great friend of ours on. Khris Poage is here. He is, if you don't know who he is, he's got a cool little story, and we're going to get into it, obviously. But he's currently the, I don't want to say photographer, because I think that's going to shortchange him. But the overall media dude for a band that we really like and enjoy, Whiskey Myers. So Khris is here to kind of tell us a story. You know, he's done so much and has come such a long way. That this story is, you know, I have known bits and pieces of the story just from knowing Khris over the last few years, but to like get it in its entirety is cool. It's a good story. It's a good time. You know, we talk about everything. We talk about some things Whiskey's got going on. We got, you know, there's some cool stuff in here. So we thank you for being here. If it's your first time here, welcome. Go check out some older episodes. If you like Whiskey Myers and all that stuff, like you'd probably enjoy some of the other people we've talked to. If it's not your first time here, welcome back. You know what to expect. This is just conversation. Just a couple of dudes shooting the shit. So thank you for being here. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. We saw our show over the weekend. We'll talk about that on the flip side of the conversation. And we have the invite to go see Thomas Rhett at Fenway this coming weekend. So, and we'll talk all about that next week on the episode. So, sit back, relax, enjoy. Thanks for being here, Khris. Thank you for taking the time and being here. Yeah. I mean, I hope you guys enjoy it because this is a fun one. It's a really good time. So, like I said a million times already, enjoy. We will see you on the flip side, guys. Cheers. Thanks for being here. Right? We're just gonna we're gonna just have a good time.
Yeah.
So traffic was a bitch tonight.
Yeah, I since my dog, our little Frenchie, got paralyzed, we have another Frenchie and a pit bull Great Dane mix that were at my wife's parents for the last month while our Frenchie recovered. So picked them up today, and Dallas was not being friendly.
No, I mean, there's a lot going on tonight, right? Is the ACM's in Dallas, or is it outside of Dallas?
It's in Dallas. I didn't even think about that because I live in Tyler. So
okay.
It's still 2 hours. It's a 2-hour drive. So I drove in to her parents and then drove back out. And I was just going, why is it so busy? Everywhere is just busy. But now, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So is that in East Texas?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tyler's about 2 hours east of Dallas. It's kind of right in the middle of Dallas and Louisiana. Yeah.
All right. So are you a Texan through and through? Like born and raised?
I am. I was born and raised in Lubbock, Texas. So,
okay.
Like where the Flatland guys are, or where we're from, and all that. That's my grounds there.
All right. Because so when before we get too into that, I got to thank you again for when we saw you and got to meet you back in the fall. We had a great time, man. That was
good, man.
The end of the summer. No, it was summer. It was August.
Was that? Yeah, was that Rhode Island?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it Rhode Island? Yeah. It was that campus.
Yeah, URI. Yeah, because nobody was there. Well, no people were there for the show, just the students weren't there.
Yeah.
That came out totally wrong. No, people were there. But yeah, no, we had a great time. It was a real pleasure to get to meet you, and I know we've chatted a shit ton over the last couple of years, so it was cool.
that was a good show. Kind of excited to go back up for that. What
Yeah.
is that? NH Pavilion or whatever it's called.
Yeah. Yeah. You
Yeah.
guys will be up there and with Derek and Susan and their band.
Hmm.
And so how does that, we're going to get into you and we're going to get into all
Yeah, yeah,
kinds of
yeah.
shit, right? Actually, no, fuck it. We'll start with you. How do you start this whole photography thing? Because for people
Oh
that don't,
man.
oh, you know what? For people that don't know, who are you current? I mean, who are you currently? Who do you work for currently, and what are you doing, and all that shit?
So I'm Khris Poage. I work for Whiskey Myers. Um, I kind of do everything: photo, video, little social media, little designing stuff. Kind of man of many hats.
Yeah,
Uh, Really, I just worked for these guys for the past 7 or 8 years now. I think it's kind of blended together. It's kind of crazy. It's been that long, but just really blessed to be with these group of guys. They're
yeah.
amazing people. So
So how did you get into all of this?
it's man, that goes back all the way back to Lubbock. Um, in high school, I was an athlete. Wasn't great. I thought I was great until I experienced what college sports were and realized that that wasn't going to happen. Um, so I did a little bit of college. I did a semester and I dropped out. It wasn't for me. I just kind of fucked around and just wasn't my deal. And I moved around a lot. I was kind of a vagrant, surfing couches, didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, discovering myself, the usual stuff for a young guy. And
Yeah,
ended up in Lubbock, back where I was born and raised, and picked up skateboarding. And that was just kind of sports. And then I realized I wasn't that good at that. So I picked up a camera at one point that I'd got from a family member. And man, that turned into taking pictures of friends that were just around the skate park. And a buddy of mine, a guy named Rustin Melton, actually asked about one of the photos, and I was like, man, I don't ever develop it. I just take the pictures. And he's like, oh, you need to develop those. And he's like, show them. So I did one day, and he was like, these are amazing. And he's like, you need to like really look into doing this. And I'm just kind of messed around with it, and uh, that led to where I was working at a restaurant at the time called Stella's in Lubbock, and there was a waiter I had met there, and he knew a few guys that were rappers. I say in quotations. Um, there was a guy though that his name was Dusty Slaughter, and he had like one of the first like viral YouTube videos. Like he made this rap, a spoof off of Superman or whatever. I can't remember what it was called, but it called it "Crank That Crabtree," and it was for Michael Crabtree, the football player.
hmm
And he had that year they beat Texas, and it was like a big deal. Michael Crabtree was like the star wide receiver for Texas Tech, and um, they did this music video for it, like just kind of in honor of like this spoof song, and went on ESPN, went viral, went all over the place. And I met him through this waiter, a guy named Kurt Knowles, and there was another guy that was with them named Marlon Williams who played football for Tech, and I just met him at a bar, and we were all kind of hanging out, and Kurt, the guy that worked with me, was like, "Hey, this is Chris. He takes pictures. He's a photographer." I didn't know what I was doing. I just now got into it and had a really crappy digital camera, and I got a call from another. I got a call. It was a little ways after that from Marlon, the Texas Tech football player. He's like, "You're that kid that has the camera." And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "I'm opening up for Mike Jones and the Yin Yang Twins." He was like, "You want to come shoot it?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, I'm down." I didn't know who that was, but did it, and it was a blast, dude. I fell in love with it instantly, and just I didn't know where it would lead. I just thought I was like, this is what I want to do. This is cool. This is really cool. So I just started researching and learning and learning and learning. And at that point, man, social media, they didn't have like people out with people. Like it was just, you
Right.
know, it was Instagram. It was like the singer or whatever. It was just whatever they had. And so it wasn't really anything. I just knew I wanted to do something in it, but I really liked music. And that kind of led down a path of research and trying to find stuff, because obviously with it being that early, there wasn't a book that was just like, this is how you get into concert photography, or this is how you get into video work. It's just, you just kind of figured it out.
Right.
Eventually I found a guy online. There was a guy named Todd Al-Young, and Todd had a website called ishootshows.com, which was like the Bible of everything. I just found it one day, and it kind of showed how to, get media passes, how to do this, how to do that. And I was just like, oh man, this is everything I need. So from there, I just started writing different people, like different bands, because on Facebook, at that point, you could go like contacts and look under their stuff, and it would have like PR contact and this person. I would just send out emails asking like, hey, let me shoot your show. I'll give you my photos for free. And that eventually led to a band where I had moved to Abilene, Texas at that point, and there was a band that allowed me to come shoot them, and I went to shoot them, and they didn't show up. They were from Australia as a rock band, and their papers didn't work or whatever when they tried to come over, and they just didn't come. So I met this band in the parking lot called Finding Clyde. There was a band from like Philly, and they're like, you want to come take pictures for us? I was like, sure. So they got me in, and I shot stuff, and I met the manager that night, a guy named Shaggy. And Shaggy was kind of a wild guy, and he was like, man, we have an artist coming soon. He's new. His name's Lee Brass, and he's coming to play his new hit song here. It's going to be this big show. He was like, you should come shoot it. He's like, I'll let you for free if you give me the photos. And I was like, oh, yeah, dude, I'm down. And so that was the Lucky Mill Saloon in Abilene, which is a terrible, terrible bar. Doesn't exist anymore. Just a shell of a place, and terrible lighting, terrible everything in there, dude. It was awful. But I shot a bunch of shows there, and I learned real quick that I could show up early and meet these guys when their guard was kind of down, and just kind of become friends with them as they're coming through, because it was just the Texas circuit. They were just all coming through. There was Bart Crow, there was Randy Rogers, there was Josh Abbott, there was Wade Bowen, there was Casey Donahue, there was Josh Weathers. I mean, they were just all just going and going. And then this one guy came through, and he had lights that he brought with him, and I was like, oh, dude, this is gonna make the show so much cooler. My photos are gonna look cool, because we actually have like lights. This not these shitty par cans that are up here.
Right.
And it was a guy named Granger Smith, and Granger was one of the first people that like talked to me and was like serious. And they ended up, his guitar player gave me his number, and I would literally bug them if they were like anywhere from 3 to 4 hours where I was living. I was like, hey man, can I come shoot your show? And that led to me just going out and shooting wherever, because they were always cool with it. It was free content. And Granger was kind of the pioneer of a lot of that, because of Earl and all that stuff. And so they loved it. He was posting my pictures, so I loved it. And just one day, randomly, I got a phone call from Granger's brother, Tyler. And Tyler manages Granger. He did at that point. And he was like, hey, our video guy, he can't come out with us this weekend, because they had a content guy that was like a full-time guy. And he was like, he can't come out with us. Can you want to come out on the road with us? We're going up to like Minnesota and back down to Texas. It's like a week tour. He's like, do you want to come? And I was like, yeah. I was like, you'll be on the bus with us, And I was like, absolutely, I'll be there. He's like, when do I need to be there? He's like, midnight tonight in Austin. And I was like, cool. And right before I was hanging up, he's like, wait, how much you want to get paid? And I was just like, never had anybody offer to pay me. So
Right.
I didn't know, he offered more than what I thought, and before I could even say anything. And I was like, absolutely, I'll be there. And that was my first, like, here we go. Like, this is, you're on the road. And dude, from there, it, that Lucky Mule place got bought out, and the guy, had owned it, sold it to another guy, and, kind of did some work for them, social media, getting paid basically nothing. And, just kept meeting bands, kept, doing this and that. And then I learned real quick that Granger wasn't going to hire me full time because he had a guy that was full time. But I started making friends with this guy that was his guy. This guy named Paul De La Cerda, and me and Paul we hit it off. And Paul kind of taught me how to do video. He was like, if you want to be like serious about this, you need to learn how to do video. And so I kind of picked that up from him, and we hit it off really well and just started helping each other here and there. And that led to me doing some stuff on and off for Sam Riggs. Did stuff with him for a little while, and he took me on the road, paying a little bit of show. And I through Sam, I had met a guy named Shane Smith that was opening for Sam, and I was filming them, like doing covers of Poncho and Lefty at radio interviews. And
Yeah.
Shane was in a van at that point, like a Sprinter van. And I had ended up splitting ways with Sam. And basically, I called, basically, Shane was the one I knew. And I was like, hey, man, I was like, I need money. So I was like, you want me to come out with you? I'd love to come out. And he was like, actually, we're about to go to New York City, this run. And he was like, here's what I can work with. He was like, are you cool with that? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, I'll be there. And met him in Austin, went to New York for the first time in my life with Shane, and played little bitty clubs and restaurants, and had a blast. And Shane was just great to me. And, we did that whole run, and I remember we actually, after we got back from that, I think that was that run. We got back from that, and then we basically went straight to Mardi Gras and shot stuff at Mardi Gras, which we were supposed to do a music video for All I See Is You, but no, that wasn't that one. That was supposed to be for New Orleans, actually, that song. And my camera crapped out while we were there, so we just ended up staying and partying for New York for Mardi Gras, and then came back. But that's kind of straying from everything. But I started working with, like, at that point, I started working with like everybody. So there was just like me. There was a girl named Natalie Ray Riggs, who was now goes not Natalie Ray. It was Sam's ex-wife, and Natalie. There was Zach Morris, who did a lot of stuff for Whiskey, and then there's me and Paul. And I don't know. I started reaching out to all these younger bands, and like Flatland, and these other clubs that I knew just through people from the Lucky Mule. There was a guy named Colby Cunningham, and he was out of Stephenville. And he called me one day, and he was like, "Hey, man, there's a kid that's selling out everywhere. He's playing here at City Limits in Stephenville on February 28th. He was like, so sold out. He's like, I want you to come shoot a video. It's gonna be cool." And I was just like, "Oh yeah, I'm down." And he was like, "I'll pay you $250." And I was like, "There." So I show up, and as I'm walking in, he introduced me to the guys, and he was like, "Hey, this is Co Wetzel." And Co was like, Co and Dre were there, and Dre was like, "You're the guy that works for Granger." And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Dude, you should come tour with us sometime." And he's like, we're doing some cool shows here and there." And I was like, yeah, that'd be cool. And there it just, started doing stuff with Co from that. I did a little tour with a band called Dead, out with Korn, and it was a tour with Korn, Stone Sour, Yellow Wolf, and Skillet. It was like a mega tour. It's called the Summer of Serenity. And we did that tour. But that one was just like a radio guy called me and was like, "Hey, we have these guys coming through. You should come shoot a video for them. They're going to blow up." And I did, turned it around, like 5 a.m. the next day and sent it to him. And I got a call later that day. And I was like, hey, we're going on tour with Korn. You want to go on the road with us? Never just met those guys that day. And I was like, absolutely. That ended up being like a year-long van tour, doing stuff with them. And then we did another tour with POD and In This Moment and Islander and Pop Evil. And then it was like a bunch of the Danny Wimmer rock shows. So we did like, that year the headliner was Ozzy and Rob Zombie. So I got to see Ozzy and Rob Zombie every night for the whole summer.
Damn.
And from there, it just, I don't know, I kept doing stuff with Co, but at that point it was just like whoever would take me out that weekend. So like,
I don't want to interrupt you because for me it's like fascinating as all hell, right? But like when you're seeing these bands when they're like coming through and the, you know, like you see Co, right?
Yeah.
Or you see Shane, like do you have an inclination of like what is to come with these guys?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember like with Shane, seeing him, like the first time I saw him was with Sam, and he was opening for Sam. And I was just remember watching him going like, these guys are amazing.
Right.
And
like at that time, for people that are listening and maybe know Shane now, but like that Shane Smith and the Saints is much different than today's incarceration.
Yes,
Not incarceration, but you know what I mean. I'm retarded.
It was almost a different band.
Yeah.
Other than Bennett, Stover, and Chase.
Yeah.
So it was different people, different crew.
Yeah, because I know Sunshine has only been with them for a few years.
Different tour manager. Like it was a whole different thing. And we like I remember just seeing that, and then like I remember talking to Shane in New York. Like me and him, we played. Like we got into New York and played. We barely made it, and the next day we had off, and Shane was like, "Let's go out." So me and him got up like 7 a.m. and just went all over New York. And we were on the Staten Island ferry, coming. Like we found out that was a cheap way to see the Statue of Liberty. So we're going across, watching the Statue of Liberty, and we came back on, and we're just talking. And I was just like, "Man, y'all are gonna pop off. Like this is like good stuff. Like I really think you're gonna do big things." He's like, I don't know. And there was just a lot of doubt.
That's because that's the kind of guy Shane is.
Yeah.
And then like still to this day he's like that.
Yeah. And then with like Co, just those shows, dude, like everything was just wild. Like I have never experienced a tour or a band like an audience like that. It was just, you didn't know what was going to happen. You never knew what to expect. You never knew what to happen after the show. It was wild. It was nuts. And then even like Flatland, I remember going with them. They had me do a few things here and there, and then I went up with them to a tour up to Montana, and their van broke down on the side of the road, and we had to get like an SUV and pack the entire band and crew in the SUV. And there's still pictures of me passed out, sleeping like on people's shoulders. And I remember us playing these little bitty clubs and stuff, and I'm just seeing these people. And I mean, like Parker was one of them, Shane, Co, I mean, all these guys, and just seeing them and going like, this is going to be something. Like I know one of these guys is going to hit.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, they all hit.
Right.
And it's just cool to see all your friends succeed, and just because I've seen the suffering they've gone through. I've seen, like with Shane, I remember doing like we did one run where we were in an RV, like a shitty RV, and sorry Shane if you're listening, but we literally were going to New Orleans to play, and before we could get there, the AC went out, or no, the generator went out. So he had bought a generator and mounted it to the front of the trailer and ran an extension cord from the trailer through one of the windows so we could blow fans.
Damn.
And dude, it was so crazy. And then and then Co just being like, you never knew. Like sometimes they were in the church van. They quickly moved from that to like a sprinter. And I remember I was with them on their first bus, and that was just pure chaos. But it was a great experience, and I'm still so excited I got to, or just that I got to capture a lot of that.
Yeah, yeah. Co is on the short list of um, what's the word I want? In podcast guests that I would
He's
throw.
a
I would shut it all down.
he's
I'd
a
be like,
fun
you know
one,
what?
man. That
Because
was just one. I just had to press record, and everything was just gold. Like
yeah,
you never knew what he was going to say, but it was going to be funny, and
right.
it was going to be a good time. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
he seems like it. He seems like
But
it. Because not to cut you off, but
yeah,
I can't remember if we were talking that night at URI or if it's been since through text or whatever. But you had shown me footage of Shane doing a tune that was just in its infancy, and I can't for the life of me remember what the fuck. What?
so that was Little Bird. So
That's what it was. That's right.
that was on that first New York tour, because
Yeah.
the first show on that run was at it was at it's in by San Antonio. Damn it, I can't remember the venue. They're going to shoot me too because I love them. They have the best tamales in the world there. Um, anyway, we were there, and he was just I was just shooting before the show because he was opening that show, and I think it was for like Robert Earl Keen or something,
Yeah.
um, or maybe even Pat Green. I can't remember. It was one or the other, and Shane was just picking his guitar and just writing, and he has a little book he always has, and he was just writing and picking. I'm just taking pictures and doing video like B-roll, and I just happened to catch him writing Little Bird, and it's I mean it's all there. Like it's you heard it play it. It's just it's
Yeah.
all there. Like there's nothing different about from when I heard it then to like fast forward 5 years later, and boom, they released that album, and
Right.
it's just there. And the funny thing is I did not realize that until I was going through old stuff, and I just found it. And I'm
That's.
sure there's more like that on there.
Oh, I'm
Like
sure.
I have terabytes on terabytes of everything that I've ever shot. And
Now, do you do that like I don't want to say on purpose, but like just
yeah,
like kind of like second nature, where if whoever you're out with, even like with whiskey, you'll like throw the camera on and just kind of, more or less
so
fuck around and find out.
a lot of the times I've learned, it took me a while to learn, but I learned from my friend Paul, that if you have a camera in your hand, have it on, and never not have a camera in your hand, because you never know what you're going to miss, or you never know what you're going to see or get. But with touring and being a photographer, you learn real quick, with like, it's something you have to learn coming on is like, because like if you're say you're a guitar tech or a drum tech, you're constantly working unless you're eating food usually, and that other than that you're just working. Photographer, you're with the artist a lot of the time, and you're going to be with the artist in the rooms that nobody gets to go in their bus, in their green room, and there's going to be moments where you're not supposed to be there, and it's just learning like, hey, you got to learn these social cues of like, this conversation is happening, I probably shouldn't be here, and you just kind of dip out. But it's kind of learning that how to ride the line on that, and not get not piss anybody off and get fired, essentially, because there's managers that come in, they have conversations about things, or they're firing somebody or this or that, and you just happen to be there, and it's like, oh shit, I need to go. Because
Right.
sometimes you just get the eye of like, and you're like, oh, okay, cool, I'll go fuck off real quick.
Right. Right.
So yeah, it's
Right.
just,
I'll go fuck myself. Be right
yeah,
back.
I've
Yeah.
I've been in this situation a couple of times where I'm just like kind of sitting there shooting, having a good time, and then I realize for a second, like, oh shit, oh sorry, I'll go. Or you walk in and you're like, oh, I'm not supposed to be here. I'll
Yeah.
see you later.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of one of the things I learned though, is you always have to shoot, because you never know. Like,
Right.
and it's tough because I do photo and video, and So it's always a constant battle of like, oh, do I need to catch this on video or, catch photos or, so yeah, that's a battle internally.
I mean, it also has to be like the same way where it's like if you're in a moment where it's like, ah, shit, I wish I would have caught that.
I've done that a couple of times. And then like with any show, I don't care who it is, shows are rehearsed. Most bands do the same set lists every night.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen. It happens sometimes where bands change a song here or there, 3 or 4 songs. But a lot of the times, everything happens for a reason because we, as a crew or the crew themselves, need to know what's going on. So if something out of the normal is happening, we know like, oh, like something's not right. So it's just like things happen every show. So I kind of know moments. I kind of know what's going to happen where, what guitar solo is going to happen, or who's going to high kick, or something. I kind of know where to be, and that's always a thing of just like, where should I be? Should I capture this? Like I know I'm anticipating the moment, and I'm like, do I need to get some photo or video? And
Right.
it's that constant build up to it. I'm like, okay, video this time, and the next time maybe photo, or because I shoot these guys 80, 90 shows a year, and I need to keep keep it fresh for everybody seeing it, so it's just not the same shit every day.
Right.
So yeah.
Now, speaking of that sort of thing, and touring and stuff, and now you being, Whiskey's full-time guy now, right? It's been a
Yeah.
fucking decade, but like, when they're doing albums and stuff, are you in the room as well? Are you part of that as well?
Yeah. So
Damn.
when I came on, so we'll tune back in. We'll kind of straight back over. So with I was with and I wasn't necessarily full time with I was just kind of like when they needed me, and it was second, maybe third time they had sold out Billy Bob's. I had woke up on their bus, and I got a phone call, and basically it was just like, hey, we want you, and it was Whiskey's people, and business is business. I just kind of made a decision, and
Right.
it was just better. It was better at the time, and Co was cool with it. I was cool with it, and we kind of went on, and everything was cool. So I went to Whiskey, and when I came on, they were just on the heels of they were about to release the White album, the self-titled. So I came on in the middle of them finishing that record up, and so I got to shoot some of that and be with them for the first time in the studio for that, and got to capture some of that footage and stuff like that, and that rolled into Tornillo later, which I got to do Tornillo, and that was Tornillo's at Sonic Ranch, which is in middle of nowhere, Texas. Almost, it's like 45 minutes to an hour south of El Paso, and right on Mexico border. And so there's nothing there. There's no TVs. I think there's one TV on site. Doesn't have a great service. So we were there for damn near a month during like I was right. It's like January of 2021, I think. So it was like right after COVID and all that jazz. And we were there for a month, and I shot the entire thing, and it's just me. And same with this new one that we're coming out with. We shot, we recorded it at Neon, the Neon Church Studio, and it's Jay Joyce's place. It's where Eric Church did a lot of his stuff. Laney Wilson, the Black Crowes, but Johnny Jay's a powerhouse, and I flew in, started shooting, and we didn't stop until it was done. But yeah, I'm there capturing everything front to back, and it's super cool to be a part of that. And even like this one this year, Eddie, our manager, basically was like, hey, why don't you shoot everything on film? And I was like, oh yeah, sure, let me learn how to do that real quick. And kind of YouTube, what I like to call YouTube University.
Yeah.
And taught myself really quick on how to develop and shoot on film. And we went in there and did it. And I remember it was me and our drum tech Chucky were the first. We were the only two crew there for the recording of it all. And I remember we all stayed at different Airbnbs, but me and Chucky stayed together there in Nashville. And after that first night, we came back to the Airbnb and ordered some Uber Eats, and we're kind of settling in. And I was like, well, I guess I need to try to develop this and see if I got something. And before that, I developed like a couple of rolls of film at the house and went through and did it. And I remember I screamed from the kitchen. I was like, there's something on there. We're good. We're good. It's just like, I did the right thing. I think we're good. So I ended up shooting like, I think it was like 20 rolls of film. And it was so cool. It was like being a magician every night, just pulling out all these things. Yeah.
So are you the one we were screaming at and swearing at when they started to drop hints about a new song on a new album and all that, where it was like, we're fucking pausing videos to see what the fucking tape says and shit. And...
We came up with a lot of stuff, and we were trying to figure out how to get people amped up, and it was like a mutual like agreement of like, let's do a bunch of Easter eggs in this video and just see if these people can pick it up. And I was honestly surprised how quick people picked it up.
Oh, dude, people on the internet are fucking wild, man. Like,
I was like, there's no way they're going to get some of this.
And it's like, and then it's like, you see things and it's like, because this sounds really douchey, but because I work during the day full time, right? Like sometimes I don't catch things until they've already been out for hours, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, son of a bitch. And then, there was things and like people are like breaking it down, like on the fan sites on Facebook and on, and it's like, well, this is going to mean this and this is going to mean that. And, I really enjoyed through all of that, how it was like, you guys put together like old footage and brought it current. And then like to see the progression of the band. And like, I mean, obviously I'm not going to ask you what the album sounds like because I know you're not going to tell me, even if you could. But like, it gives me some sort of hope that it, from a fan perspective, right?
The way, what I can say is if you go and look at the genre of the album, it'll tell you real quick what it sounds like.
Oh, God damn it.
So.
Don't get fired, Chris.
Hey, that's online. I can't. That's in the
true.
public. Yeah,
that's true. So are you part of that creative process then with or does like the band say, this is what we want it to look like?
It's a group effort.
Okay.
We all kind of have a little say in it, and I try to. A lot of the times, if they present me with something, I just try to make it come to life. So it's like, hey, let's try this, and it's like, okay, cool. Let me take this vision and make it real, like make it tangible.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I mean, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Because what's his name over at what the fuck? Soundwave Creative?
Yeah.
Right? He does all the posters and all that shit.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
We've had him. I can't remember his name. I feel like the biggest asshole right now.
That's Fosco.
Yes.
John Fosco.
And he's been on the podcast. I should fucking remember that.
Sweetheart of a guy.
Best dude in the world, right?
Yeah.
Like, because when you guys came through Boston a couple summers ago, and I was in Chicago, and 49 opened, and our boy, oh my God, I'm just losing my fucking mind right now. It's fine. Oh my God, what is his name?
Bosco.
No.
No?
The other kid that opened.
Oh, for 49?
Yeah.
Oh
my God, anyway, it'll come to me when I'm laying in bed later. Why the fuck can I not? Anyway, it's not important. It's important, but it's not important. But that tour, he did like a Red Sox Minuteman poster for that show.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I have like 3 copies of it and all of its different origins, and I love that print. It is so badass.
We even did a Boston one when we played the amphitheater there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It has be on it and all that.
Yeah. That's the one I have. That's the one I have. I think.
Yeah,
I don't know. They're all, you know.
yeah. They do great work, man. And
Yeah.
I'm glad they work with us and they kill it. And like even with a lot of the designs they do, like even with the merch stuff they do is awesome. So
Yeah.
and even like this new album you're talking about, the cool thing this year is they're doing all the bands do different variants of the vinyls. It's kind of like a
Yeah.
common thing now. But we have like an ultra rare, like only 100 of them, I think. And with that one, I think it's called the Thunder edition. But with that one, you get two of the film photos that I took, like at
Damn.
random. There's like, I think we only printed a couple hundred of them, and that's the only that'll ever be printed. And they're just going to be randomly dropped in. And
That's
yeah,
awesome.
it's pretty cool.
That is cool.
So, and I,
No, is it hard for you to let go of some of those things?
no, I mean,
No,
it's
they're
just,
just not they're just pictures, right? I mean,
yeah, I
kind of,
mean, it's art, but it's cool that it gets to go out and be that.
yeah,
So I can appreciate it for that. That
that's
it
awesome.
that part of me gets to be part of that essentially. So, yeah.
Yeah. Now, when you're growing up and in Texas, and
Mm-hmm.
the scene being what it is, right? Did you what the scene was in the early 2000s?
Yeah,
Did you have any idea? Like, was it? I mean, being in the Northeast, we had no idea, right?
yeah.
We don't know bands like Ragweed and so on and so forth. We just
So
don't.
I'm about to shock you, but keep go ahead with
Oh,
your
God.
question.
Now, do you? I mean, is Ragweed and Turnpike and all them like as big as like the for us in the Northeast as the lore says they were?
So when I first heard of ragweed, I was a freshman in high school, I think. So I
Okay.
graduated. To give you a little background, I graduated in '06.
Okay. So all right.
So
So I'm a year
yeah,
older than. Okay. All right.
yeah. So I graduated in '06. So I had moved to a school. My dad was a coach, um, so we moved around a lot when I was a kid, and my we just moved to a place called Vernon, Texas, which is by Wichita Falls, Texas. But we went to this tiny school that was 15 miles further from there called Northside. It was a little six-man school, got K through 12, 150 kids, itty bitty. Um, but I started meeting new people there, and there was a few guys. They had a band called 5 Mile Range, and I wanted to be them so bad. They were just like the cool kids. They played music, and I really stuck to it. And there was a guy named Heath Agnew, and there was a guy named Brandon Hallencack. And I remember Brandon and Heath. I thought they were the coolest thing, and they listened to Ragweed and a bunch of those bands. That was the first time I was kind of introduced to a lot of that. And even though I didn't really gravitate towards it, I was more into the punk rock as a kid. Definitely was doing the MTV stuff, and I never thought I would work in this stuff that if for the longest time I was like, I'm gonna do rock and roll. I'm gonna be rock and roll. And I mean, I guess technically with whiskey, I'm in rock and roll,
Yeah.
which
I
is
mean,
cool.
I have the T-shirt that says
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
So country was never like a big thing of mine, but it really grew on me as the more I got into a lot of this. So even though I wasn't into it then, it definitely grew on me, and which is cool because now like that acoustic tour we did, like Cody was opening for us, Cody Canada and
Yeah.
Wade Bowen were, and that was they were they're telling us about the shows that were going to happen and the cross that was right before everything, and it was just like, oh, this is gonna be wild.
Yeah.
And I before that I got to meet Cody at the Lucky Mule, that one place when he was doing the first rendition of what would have been his band, the Cody Cannon and the Departed, and that's
Yeah.
when it was like the first part of it, and they were so nice to me then. So Cody's just always been like this guy that I've met here and there, and now that he knows me, and it's just like this. He's just a good dude, and
Yeah.
as big as they were, because I remember people freaking out about them then, like seeing the shows now, like it's just one of the most humble, nice people that you could ever come across. And take the time of day just to talk to you, and just when you hear him and you hear like his beliefs and just the kind of person he is, just good people.
Did you get to see any of those shows in Oklahoma a few weeks ago?
No, we had our drummer Jeff Hogg and I think a couple other the guys went just to see it, and they didn't even do. They bought tickets. They just went to be a fan, and because those guys were like big Ragweed fans,
Yeah.
and they went and hung out, and I think they enjoyed it. I saw videos from those guys. I saw videos on just TikTok and Instagram, and it looked
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah,
So
I did too. Like, I know a bunch of people,
yeah,
being in all this. Like, I know a bunch of people that went. Like, I reached out to a few friends, and I was like, grab me a shirt, let me know what I owe you, yada yada yada. And one of my buddy Justin, texts me back. He's like, dude, that fucking line is like 2 hours long. You're out of your fucking mind. And I was like, all right, fair enough.
yeah. I
Sounds good.
knew I knew
Like, I'll
from
buy one online.
their sound guy is a good friend of mine, and he's been with them since the start. And we were talking about it in Florida when we were doing that acoustic run, and
Yeah,
he was like, it's going to be nuts, dude. He
yeah.
was like, I don't even understand like how big this is going to be. And I was like, you're not going to
Right.
understand, see it. But
It's funny because like I say it to people all the time. Like, I if they decide to do any sort of tour, whether it's at the end of the year or next year or whatever, like I know in my soul they're not going to come to New England because but you never know, right? But that would be a show I would travel out of state hours
yeah,
to see,
I
without a doubt.
mean, there's a lot of Texas transplants everywhere.
That's
That's
true.
one of those things where I like, even with whiskey, like we'll play Europe or the UK, or we'll play New York City, or we'll play, Alaska. And you, every day before the doors open, you're like, maybe there's not going to be a lot of people. And then shows up and it's sold out. And you're just like, what the hell? Like,
Yeah.
I don't get it. We're thousands of miles away from home. People are still showing up, and
Right.
we don't have radio airplay. We don't have
No.
any of that, and it's cool.
Yeah.
So
Because I love that you said that about the transplant thing but like like Mickey Braun from Mickey and the Motor Cars, right?
yeah,
He lives from where I live. He's only like 20 minutes away.
yeah,
Like, and when I talked to him, it was like you think about it. It's like you live here now, right? You have a huge following in the Midwest and
hmm
in the South. Like how much of a transition that must be, right? Where it's like you could go to a venue, play a larger venue, sell it out, but like play at a venue 10 minutes from home and nobody knows who the fuck you are.
yeah.
You know,
There's some of them
it's
that do that. There's some in Texas that I think that they deserve the world, and
yeah,
they'll never be heard. Like there was a band called the Dirty River Boys, and I fucking love those guys. They were
yeah,
awesome, and they just never it never really happened. And there's a bunch of them like that I'm just like, man, if they had the chance, like a lot of
right,
these guys got, and they would have
yeah.
been huge.
But like I kind of do the same thing with Shane, and like anybody that I talk to, like I just Shane Smith and the Saints is like you know, to me, like the greatest band ever, right? But a
Yeah,
lot of that is because of the relationship the
yeah,
personal relationship I've built with
and
those guys too.
Shane's such a good guy too. So
Such
it's
a good
just
guy.
yeah,
And they come up here and play a smaller room every year, and it's like a part of me is like, I love this that they're gonna come and play for less than 1,000 people or just over
yeah,
1,000 people, like awesome. And then like the other night, I'm sitting in my bed with my laptop watching them play Red Rocks to a
yeah,
fucking sold out crowd. Like it's like, and like to me, it's like they should be doing that here, but
yeah.
it's such
It's
a it's such a wild fucking thing.
it
But even like
takes
you guys,
yeah,
I mean, not to blow up a spot, but like your eye wasn't sold out. To me,
yeah.
it should have been. You guys should be always be playing a bigger room than that. But the markets are just so fucking
It's
wild.
all it's all about building, man. And like
Yeah,
I'm a photographer, so I like take this with a grain of salt. But uh, every year you start over, and you have like bands have their places they can play that are they can sell places out left and right, and there's places that are weaker, but you have to come back and you have to just keep nourishing those markets, because unless you're getting that consistent, airplay, or you have a label behind you that's throwing thousands upon thousands of dollars at advertising and marketing and getting your stuff on air and getting you on award shows and getting you in the public eye, and then you know, you have the smaller, or not necessarily smaller, but just independent bands where it's only a few people like running it, and
Yeah.
it's still working. It's
Yeah.
just it's in we do it day in, day out, and we fight like hell, and it's a fun job. It's a battle, but dude, it's so rewarding when you walk out there and there's just people everywhere, and
Yeah.
getting to capture that, like, that's the biggest thing, is getting to show the guy's journey. Because when I came on with them, like, it was like playing 500 cap rooms, like little theaters, some bars, and uh like it was just like, I didn't think, like, I couldn't have ever imagined
Yeah.
where it's gone now. I remember playing, like, when we got picked to play with the Rolling Stones, and like that was, from there it was just like, dude, there's nothing that can be bigger than this. Like, this is, we've hit the peak, and
Right.
it's still just continued to get bigger, and just getting to capture a lot of that, and the adventure and the behind the scenes, and it's a dream come true.
Yeah.
That's what I can say. Coming from where I what was to now, like, I never would have thought. Yeah,
Right.
13-year-old me would have laughed.
Yeah. Now, do you, being with whiskey as long as you have, right? Are there venues that you can't wait to get back to, and
Yeah,
venues that you're like
yeah,
it's fine, it's great, it is what it is, but like not my favorite?
yeah. There's of course, Red Rocks is just, it's magical. Any I love doing New York City just because it's a wild. You never know what you're going to face there. So I
Yeah.
mean, uh, anything in New York's always a blast, just with the history. I enjoy anything across Texas. I always like being in Texas because I know I'm going to see all my friends. I'm going to see all the people I know. And I mean, even getting to do, I think the biggest thing with me is just like the history behind venues.
Yeah.
Because I find myself going and I'll Google, uh, what is it, the Rave in Milwaukee. They have the Eagles Ballroom on top, and that, just the history behind that place. There's the Surf Ballroom where Buddy Holly passed, or his last place he played before he crashed the plane,
Yeah.
or the plane crash and all that. And uh, I don't know. I find myself, before he played venues, like looking up and finding history, because it's like, well, who'd play here? Who played before us here? And when you connect that with you being on that same stage, it just makes it that much
Yeah.
cooler. And I don't know. It makes me appreciate it more, because it's like, man, I looked up to these people like heroes, and now here we are, and it just makes it more special to me, I think.
That's yeah. That's a great way to put it. I never would have thought to do something like that, is
Yeah,
to look up the history of. I mean, that's really, that is fascinating to think about.
because you do, like, Tupelo, Mississippi. We do an arena there. I guess it's a state. I think it's arena, and I mean, that's where Elvis was born, and he's like, his birthplace from that arena is like a few blocks,
Right.
and yeah, the house is there, and you just walk in, and then, like, playing in Lubbock, uh, you walk down to the Buddy Holly Center, and there's the house he wrote a lot of the songs in. There's the museum with all the stuff. It's just, I mean, everywhere you look, Buddy Holly's, he's there, and
Yeah.
Waylon's there, and uh, just, you get a sense of what all's attached to it, and then you kind of, when you get that sense and you kind of just see it, it just makes it so much more special to be on that stage.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
we played. There's a Monterey, California. We played a festival there a couple years ago, and I didn't do my research. I just happened to show up, and as we're setting up, one of the local crew was like, "You know what this place is, right?" I'm like, "No." It's like, "It looks familiar, but I don't know." And he was like, "This is where they had the Monterey Pop Festival." And I was like, "Oh," and I'm thinking, and he was like, "This is where Jimi Hendrix burned the guitar."
Jesus.
It's the same stage, still there, same exact. Unlike did you see the new Bob Dylan movie?
Yeah, yeah, it was awesome.
So that Monterey, that the there's a festival they play, I think at the very end, and the stands look kind of crazy, look kind of medieval knights, kind of.
Oh, yeah.
That's Monterey. That's the exact
Oh,
same stage.
so they filmed that there.
I don't think they filmed it there. I
Oh,
think a
okay,
lot of it
okay.
might be. I think a lot of
Might be
that
it.
might be like Hollywood magic,
Right.
but that's where that all happened.
Huh.
And yeah, it was just like you step back and you just kind of look at it, and you're like, holy shit, yeah, this is. I've seen this picture. I've seen this. I've seen, and I mean, we've been a bunch of places where, like even like San Francisco, where you walk down the green room and there's Jerry Garcia's name and a star, and they touch that place. The Grateful Dead, or even seeing venues where I watch like MTV live videos, like,
Right.
oh shit, I saw Simple Plan there, I saw Yellow Card here, I saw Creed over here, and it was just like, oh shit, we're here now, and
Yeah.
yeah, I
Now,
don't know,
now there's some venues on my bucket list that I'm sure
yeah.
you've been in, right? But like, Billy Bob's is one of those for me. You
Maybe
know,
Billy Bob's all too much, but I
right? Like,
love
is
Billy
it
Bob's.
as big as?
It's fucking huge.
Okay.
It is massive, and the people are great there. Oh, Mr. Gallagher in the back serving up, uh, serving up three-legged monkeys, and just it's that venue. I've been there a lot with a lot of different people, and with Flatland, with with the guys. I'm trying to think who else. There's been a few, more than a few, but they're just places always just feels like home. It's always nice, and the people there treat you really good, and it's always going to be a wild show. It is, because it's Billy Bob's. It's the stockyards and the history. That's another one. It's the history is there. You can
Right.
walk around backstage, and have you ever seen the pictures backstage where everybody that's played their sign on the wall, like
No.
the green room? So there's two green rooms, and there's like a main green room in the middle where you see like the picture with the Billy Bob's backdrop.
Yeah.
There's that built there, and then all around it, the entire room is pictures, or not pictures, but like that, and like squared off, and there's like a hand painted like logo of whatever band, and literally almost everybody that's played there has signed it. So like Garth Brooks, or um, the Dixie Chicks, or you go back to like Waylon Jennings. Waylon Jennings is on there. It's signed Waylon goddamn Jennings, and then Shooter signed under it, Shooter fucking Jennings, and then Granger, the Whiskey Myers guys, Flatland, Parker, back to like uh, Asleep at the Wheel, to Mark Chestnut, literally everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's cool because you can see the eras, because you can see when they used to smoke back there, because
Yeah.
the paints are yellow, like the white is yellowed in certain spots, and that's where you knew how old that one was. So
That's
yeah,
awesome. You mentioned him now a couple of times, Parker McCullum, right?
yeah,
Now we saw him in the same room we saw you down at URI
hmm,
not too long ago, and I had always wanted to see Parker, and obviously he gets radio play and
hmm,
stuff. I could not, like, I didn't know much of his catalog except for what was on the radio and shit, going in,
yeah,
and my God, does he put on a show?
yeah.
And
He's
his non-radio songs are a million times better than his radio songs.
I I don't listen to, I'll be guilty too on that. I don't listen to a lot of Parker stuff, and a lot of this stuff I haven't seen his new show. I haven't seen like the big crazy stuff. When I knew him, was when like, so Co and him toured a lot together, and like one would open for the other, or Parker would always somehow end up showing up and singing Love with Co, or it was just the two guys are kind of inseparable. It was kind of cool, but even then, like he had a cool show,
Yeah.
and it was a fun time watching. I mean, both of them. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean he's gonna be up here opening for Stapleton and George Strait, and I'm really looking forward to seeing him again
hell yeah,
because
that'll
he
be a
was
good one.
yeah. I mean George Strait. I mean
That's the
he
king.
he doesn't come up here ever, so it
Yeah,
was you know, and
he's
at
a
his age you never know if he'll ever come back. So
yeah. I just recently went and watched AC/DC because of that exact
right,
reason.
how no, okay, so they were here this past weekend too. How when you saw him, how was it?
It's so fucking loud, but it was awesome. It was hands down the loudest concert I've ever been to. And
Really?
I've been to some loud ones.
Right.
I've been to Slipknot, I've been to Zombie, I've been to Ozzy. Like that,
You
they
know,
were
because
the loudest.
I have friends that went and they were like, the band sounded great and all that stuff, but like they said that Brian Johnson just did not.
I mean, it's AC/DC. It's not gonna
Right.
be a Taylor Swift concert and sound
Right. It's
pretty.
not
It's
1986 anymore.
no, it's rock and roll. It's meant to be ugly. It's meant to be imperfect. It's meant to be fucked up. Like if you think Led Zeppelin sounded like that, fuck you. Like
Right.
those guys went out there and they rocked and they had a good time. Same for the Stones. Same for all those guys. Like it's rock and roll. It's not supposed to be perfect. It's not
Right.
supposed to sound. It's not supposed to sound perfect. If it did, like it's not what it's supposed to be.
Right.
It's supposed to be shitty microphones. It's supposed to be loud, and it's supposed to be in your face. And you're supposed to get out there and have a good time, be sweaty, and forget about the bad shit that's in your life at that moment, and just enjoy the show. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
You
that's rock
know
and roll.
when I think about it, right? And obviously most bands I'm sure always want to play like the football stadiums. Like that's
Mhm.
like the dream, right? For whatever reason. But now as from your perspective, do you prefer smaller venues to larger venues or vice versa?
So one thing I've noticed with like even whiskey, when I get to shoot a little venue, there's say like one of my favorites is the Machine Shop. In Flint, Michigan. And a lot of people think Flint, Michigan, and they're like, ew. But the Machine Shop, it just has character. Like you walk into that room and it looks like rock and roll, and it
Yeah.
feels like you feel it. And there's venues like that across. Like even when I was out with the Dead Guys, like just certain punk rock clubs, and you'd walk in, you're like, this is going to be a cool night.
Right.
Um,
Right. Things have happened in this room.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it just has that vibe. But you move into, say, arenas and stadiums, and everything kind of starts looking the same. That's where you
Right.
kind of lose the charm of a venue. But I mean, like you get into like Madison Square Garden, or you get into uh, in LA at the Forum, and the history is there, and it still kind of has that charm because it's like, oh shit, this is the Forum, or one of those places. But uh, me personally, there's advantages to both. Um, the intimate, like close together, like a punk rock show and like a dirty, dingy bar, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's a good time, and you're gonna catch some crazy shit. You're gonna get knocked around, and you're gonna have a good time. But also, being on a stage in an arena full of us in front of a sold out crowd, everything's gonna look magical. Like it's just
Yeah.
gonna have this larger than life feel. And I think there's cool things to both. And I know there's a lot of photographers and content creators that want to do that. I'm sure they have preferences to both, but I've been lucky enough to kind of shoot in both settings, and I enjoy them both. They both have things I like and things I dislike, and um, I can't really say that one's better than the other because I I enjoy it all. I really
Yeah.
do. It's something that I can't really express other
Now
than just how.
go into that thought and that idea of when you do get to the arena level and it's arena
Yeah.
night after night. Is it hard? Is it easy to fall into that? Oh shit, where am I?
Uh, yeah, because a lot of the times, like arenas and, well, amphitheaters more than arenas. Arenas tend to be more in the city center. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Amphitheaters usually tend to be further out.
Right.
And usually if you're like in a shed tour, everybody that out there that doesn't know what a shed is, it's what the artist usually refers to as an amphitheater tour as a shed tour.
Yeah.
But you're in a bunch of sheds, it can get kind of like that because they all look the same and they're all way the fuck out of town. And you're just
Right.
like, wait, where am I today? But an arena, I mean, it can be like that, but everything, like a lot of them are like sports places. So it's kind of
Sure.
branded like Minnesota this or
Right.
San
Right.
Francisco that. And you kind of know where you are. But uh, I find myself losing my ability to know what day it is more than I lose my ability to know what place we're at.
Gotcha. That makes
Yeah,
sense. That
I'll
makes
be
sense.
like, wait, it's Saturday? I thought it was Monday. And it's just because you just get in this rotation of,
Yeah.
wake up because will start waking up at 6 a.m. Start getting things in there, and you're going to sleep by 2 a.m. and you just repeat until you have a day off, and that's when you kind of just let
Yeah.
everything relax,
Right.
and you're like, oh, okay, cool. It's Tuesday. Now I know where I'm at. Let's have a little bit of rest and let's do this again. So
Now, when
yeah.
you are on a tour like that, where it's day in and day out,
Mm-hmm.
whatever, right? Do you start to see a difference in crowd? Like, is a crowd different on a Monday than it would be on a Friday night or
It can
Tuesday?
be. It
You
can
know,
be. I mean, typically speaking, a crowd on a Monday is probably not going to be as good as a crowd on a Friday or a Saturday, because people have jobs, people don't want to go hard. But that doesn't hold true a lot of the
right,
times. I've
right,
seen Monday crowds be pretty fucking crazy, and I've seen Tuesday crowds be crazy. I've seen sold out crowds on any day. It just kind of depends where you are. I think it kind of depends on that area's demographic, and um, yeah, I think really that can hold some weight to it, but also at the same time, it can not even hold any weight to it.
right.
So yeah,
Sure.
it just kind of depends on where you are and what's going on.
Yeah. Now, so with that being said, right, with tour season coming and a new album that you guys had to fucking tease us with in May that doesn't come out until almost
Sept-
October.
September,
Like,
yeah.
the fuck? Like, why do bands do that? Like, just,
Well, you want to.
I know, you gotta
I'm
you gotta
like I'm
hype it up. I get it. I get
like
it.
I'm a photographer, but uh, the way people work now, I guess this can work too because I'm into content. People's their attention spans
Yeah,
shit
yeah. It's
uh,
nothing.
like nothing. So even as so I'll post a video online and it'll do great for that day, and then by the next day it's gone. Like
Yeah.
that's one thing I've told a lot of people is like when you do your content that you enjoy that day, and then next day start over because nobody remembers that. It's
Right.
gone. It's
Right.
done. So same for music. Like that's why I think a lot of artists do that now is because you could release a whole album and it's going to have its moment, and then whatever song or songs that are going to shine, they're going to shine, and then it's going to go,
Right.
and they're going to
That makes
forget.
sense. Yeah.
So why not give it some life and have a single, like 3 or 4 singles pop out, which I know some people hate. A lot of more old school guys hate that because they're like, it's an album, just throw it out there. But I think it does kind of give the album some life over a certain amount of time until they actually get it in their hands, and then it gives it the rest of the life
Right.
of the album. So yeah,
Yeah.
and especially with us, I mean, we kind of have a track record of like every 3 years.
Right. It's true.
So
It's
so I
it's
mean,
true. Because I
an album
remember.
living for more, like when you have people putting out 2, 3 albums a year, it's old school, but it's what they do.
Yeah. Because
So
what is it? I'm awful with album names, but the last one before this one,
Tornado.
Tornado. Right. Because that came out right around the time where I was just getting into this,
Mm,
realm. And so it's been I was like a year in at that point, so it's been 3. Yeah.
yeah,
Makes
it's
sense.
it's it's not like it's definitely not something they choose to do. It just kind of
It just
happens to,
happens.
yeah,
Right.
it happens to be that way. But Yeah.
I was actually talking to somebody the other night at the bar, and we were going back. We were actually having, I wouldn't say an argument. We were having a loud discussion about it. What's the name of the album that nobody can, that is not out there, that had
Oh,
Loneliest Texas Nights on it?
Road to Life.
That's what it was. Because we all the words were there, but they weren't just they. We were having an argument about it. So thank you for clearing the
Yeah,
record.
Road to Life. That's the one. That
Road
was
to
their
Life. Okay.
first album, like right out of high school, pretty much.
Yeah. So you guys got a busy summer coming.
We do. Lots of stuff, lots of festivals. Uh, hell, a show at the Gorge, which I'm really excited about. That's one of those Derek Trucks Band, Whiskey
Yeah.
Myers co-headline tour things, and I mean, just have some great openers this year. We have Dexter and the Moon Rocks. We have Baker Blankenship. We have Cassius Culpepper.
Yeah.
We have Pony Bradshaw. I mean, just some heavy hitters for
Yeah.
some support on there. So,
That's
especially
awesome.
if you haven't checked out Dexter and the Moon Rocks, do it.
Okay.
They're intro. I just did. I'm definitely showing some favoritism there because I just did a photo shoot for them for their
Oh, nice.
some press images, but they're
Well,
great dudes and had a
we'll check
blast
them out.
with them.
We'll check it out. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of Deftonesy. If you
Okay.
like yeah, it's in that
Now,
realm of stuff.
now with them doing that co-headline run with
Mhm.
the Trucks Band, like how does that work? Will you guys do like an hour and 10, hour and 15, and they will, or
So I think I I'd have to go look because I know it's settled, but I know like it's just in certain markets they're headlining, and then we're supporting, and then certain markets
oh, okay,
we're headlining, they're supporting, and then like even in Oregon we're playing two nights where we headline one night and they headline the next night.
gotcha. Okay,
So it's just and I don't know exactly how the set times are going to go. I don't know if we're equal or they're a little longer, we're a little longer. I don't know exactly, but um, it's going to be a killer show,
yeah.
and it's just it's going to be some of the coolest rock and roll you can see, and uh, definitely one I wouldn't miss out on.
All right.
Definitely
Well,
wouldn't.
then I guess that answers that question. I think we'll take the ride up to New Hampshire and see you when you're here.
I mean, it's New Hampshire. It's beautiful, and
Right.
the last time we were there, Triple H came out and saw us.
Really?
Yeah, him
The
and
fuck was he
Stephanie.
doing? I mean, I guess they're from
Well,
Connecticut.
some of our bus drivers are ex WWE bus drivers, and
Oh, all
they
right.
yeah they had the hookup, and Stephanie is apparently a fan of the band, and yeah, it just kind of worked out. But
That's awesome.
it was pretty cool.
That's awesome. Well, I mean, you know me. I'm no fuck. I'm not shy, and I'm a whore. So I'll text you and be like, "Hey, we're here,"
Hell yeah,
and
man!
you know,
Absolutely. Have you ever seen the backstage of that place?
only in pictures.
Oh, it's nuts, dude.
Yeah,
Pools and
yeah. I know they have a
you
mini golf course and shit.
they have that. It's like a heated pool. They have a heated hot tub. They have arcade games. They have like
Yeah,
they give you a cool jacket. It's such a cool. They take really good care of you up
yeah,
there.
yeah.
So
It's kind of like I texted you the other day. It's like it's a summer
summer
camp for
school, yeah.
summer camp for bands.
And
You
then
know,
they have that movie playing there every like it's nonstop playing the camp. Shit, what's that?
camp nowhere.
I can't remember what. It's a movie that's named after that lake there.
Oh, oh God,
I can't
because
remember what
that's
the lake.
Winnipesaukee.
Yeah, Winnipeg. There's a movie that was filmed there, I guess, or that's about
Oh,
there. And
really?
yeah, what? Hold on, let's see. Uh,
Look it up.
New Hampshire. Hold
What's
on,
the name
what
of
is
that
it?
dude? Sorry, while you're looking up, what's the name of the guy that sings the fire? Matt Koziel is the one I was.
Yeah,
Oh my God, I'm such an asshole. I talk to Matt all the time, and my
Matt's a
brain just fuck.
sweetheart. I love Matt.
Oh, Matt's the best. I
Me and
fucking love
him
that dude.
text back and forth about cameras and Leicas and Fuji
He's gonna listen to
cameras.
this
Oh,
and be like, "You fucking asshole." And you know what? You know what? You know what? I'm gonna say it right now. That's what he gets for not texting me back for fucking a week at a time.
But
when I need important information.
life gets
No,
weird.
I know. He's
And life gets busy. I can't remember what that lake is. I don't know. I'll think of the movie later and I'll text you and be like,
yeah.
this is what it is. But there's apparently some movie that was filmed out there or is about that area, and they have a TV literally with like a fireplace and it plays nonstop that one movie.
That's awesome. That's awesome. How's the
Yeah,
food?
amazing.
Yeah, fuck,
Yeah,
I bet. You
I
know what?
won't
I'm gonna have to make a weekend of it and do it.
I won't give away all of what they serve there, but they take really good care of you.
Yeah,
So
I'm sure. What
yeah,
is? Yeah, because I know. So like that same tour is coming closer to here, but you guys aren't on that leg of it
yeah.
for
There's I think
which
they have
fucking
like,
blows my mind.
well,
But,
it's
yeah,
we have
I
our
get it.
own stuff, and yeah, it
Right,
just didn't work out. But
right.
if
Because
they have like Buddy Guy on one leg of that tour, and they
yeah.
have
So
there's
like
several different ones.
when Tedeschi Trucks is here, Nolan Taylor is
Okay,
uh the co-headliner for that, which Nolan is by the time this comes out, I think Nolan will have been on or be close to on, and
yeah,
he's gonna be episode 300. So
nice.
yeah, have you met
Three,
him yet?
no,
Oh, dude, he is the real deal, man.
hell yeah, that's
If you
awesome.
come across Nolan Taylor along the way, or even just listening to his music, like fuck, man, like grab a box of tissues, and if you're having a bad day, don't listen to it because it'll make it worse. But not in
It's
like a bad way, but like it's just every song, every lyric, every word is just whew.
yeah, music hits you sometimes. It's
Yeah,
that way. It happens to be that way. That's when
yeah,
you know it's good, though.
that's true.
So
That's true. Well, Chris, I can't thank you. I appreciate you shooting the shit, man.
yeah,
This has been
yeah,
a long time in the making, and I
yes.
appreciate it more than you know.
You're my first one, so
First one ever.
yeah,
I feel like
first
I'm a lot of
podcast.
people's first.
I've had
That sounds bad, but you know what I mean.
popping cherries left and right.
You know, I'm a little too old to be doing that, but
Oh shit!
actually, I'm way too old to be doing that. Um, but yeah, man, it's been a pleasure. Like I said,
Absolutely.
it meant the world to us to see you in Rhode Island, and
Yeah,
give us the little bit of time you had. It really for a guy like me, it does mean the world. I don't want you
yeah.
to think it's just like a
Dude, anytime. It's
you know
it's if I can make somebody's day a little bit better, that's what it's about. So
and
yeah,
like I know like for doing what I'm doing, a lot of people would say like, oh, you're just doing it to whatever, and it's like at the end of the day, this podcast could go away tomorrow, and I'm still gonna text you and talk to you like you're my
yeah,
friend.
yeah.
That's I,
And I
I
mean,
don't give a shit about this. I
if
really
you're
don't.
if you're doing something you love, dude, fuck them because
Yeah,
that's all that matters.
that's it's true, man.
Yeah,
It's true.
fuck everybody else that says like if anybody has anything to say negative, like you push them out. That's
Yeah, no,
yeah,
I'm learning that the hard way, but
yeah,
here we are.
yeah.
But thank you again for your time.
No
I
worries.
thank your wife for me for letting you hang
Absolutely,
out.
absolutely,
Yeah. But
absolutely.
we'll chat and whatnot, and we'll see you over the summer.
Cool. Sounds good, man.
All right, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
See ya. Well, there you have it, everyone. Our conversation with Khris Poage. Chris, again, thank you so much for taking the time and being here. We always enjoy and appreciate our guests taking the time. So thank you. Um, like I said at the beginning of the show, we saw Zach Top and Dirks Bentley this past weekend at Great Woods and here in Mansfield, Massachusetts. Great show as always. Zach killed it as he always does, and then Dirks killed it as he always does. Like I know we just had a whole conversation about Whiskey Myers and great Texas music and all that, but you know what? Dirks Bentley, for some reason, for me, I don't want to say it's a guilty pleasure, but is one of like the first artists I remember hearing when I started to dabble in country music, 15 years ago or so, right? And I've just always enjoyed it, Yeah, some radio hits, and I know Matt Westerman is going to say, pop princess or some shit like that, and that's fine, but I enjoy it. You know, so sometimes you need some fun country music too. But not that it's not all fun, but you know what I mean. Whatever. So next week's guest, I don't know who it's going to be yet. I have to go look through who we got. Um, but I want to say thank you again for being here and taking the time and listening to the episode. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. And we will see you next Tuesday, guys. Until then, be good to each other. Cheers.